had such an awesome run of pelagic species up and down our coast over the past 2 seasons that we thought it well worth the effort getting out here and playing with them again. And because you guys asked for more information on trolling specifically, that's what we're here to do today. I've got a cool crew together. We've got Denver with a guest cameo appearance on Sportfish DVD, and I've got Dicko, a man that's grown up chasing a variety of species, but he's very, very good when it comes to trolling a variety of approaches to catch pelagics. So the boys in the background rigging baits, catching a few liveys as well. Let's go and have a crack.
Alright folks, I'm just going to show you how to rig up a little bonito bait. There's a couple of different techniques of the way to do it. This is just one of the techniques that I use. You'll see the rig there. We've got, what's that, 4 7/0 mustard hooks with some lead crimp to the 2 front hooks. So with this particular rig, we actually pull from the nose of the bonito. And we've got a little black rolling swivel up the top here and about 40 centimetres or single strand wire trace. I'm using 59 pound mason. I find single strands just a lot easier to use. You can make them up a lot quicker than what you can with multi-strand with crimps and things like that. So I use single strand. I'll just show you how to do it. There's your bait there. What you need is a little bit of copper wire, like so, and a bait needle. This is the first step of the rigging up the bait. So you just crimp it through there like that. Pick the center so you come up through the middle of the bonito's nose. And so you've got it coming out of both sides like that. Then it's just twisting it up. Make sure it's quite firm on the nose. And I use quite a fair bit of copper wire because I like to wrap it around the shank of the hook nice and tight. So that's it, that's the first step. Then what you want to do is grab your rig and just line it up, line your hooks up. And you want this eye of the front tow hook just to be outside the mouth of the bonito. And this one's going to work out perfectly. It's actually going to go into just behind the anal hole of the bonito. So when you're putting these hooks in your fish, you want to make sure that they're not tight. You know what I mean? So they're not jamming up on each other. So I always just put it in there, make sure it's in there nice and loose. Then grab your next hook. And you'll notice with my rigs, I've also got a rear hook that's reversed too. Seems to help your hookup rate. And then straight down the line. And you'll notice with bonito, and most fish have all got like a line across the bottom of their belly. It's easy to get your bait right and exactly the same, your hook's in the right spot. And the tow hook, you want it to go up in this gristly part of the gill section. And there's your hooks lying in your bait. Next step, you want to just make sure that your towing wire is actually, the loop is out the front. And then what you want to do is just grab your copper wire and wrap it around fairly firmly around just below the eye of the hook, just like so. And I'm pretty confident that he'll swim straight away. We'll get him in the water and we'll show you how he swims.
Dicko, first light, new day on the water, we don't really know what mood the fish are going to be in. I know you've got a tackle box full of hard bodies, but at the moment you pull the baits out as well just to maybe suss out the mood of the fish, and you've got a bit of a plan in mind.
Yeah mate, well first off we'll just troll these couple of bonito down along this stretch of rock here, and most of the time first up I'll troll baits. Hopefully we catch a couple of Spaniards, yep. And then we'll go troll some high speed later on, get a couple of mac tuna and maybe a wahoo or something.
All right mate, well it sounds good, and I promised Denver today that he's going to hit drag screaming and get rods bending, so we've got to tick a big box for him. So mate, I reckon you're the man for the job.
Mate, well,
no pressure at all.
Nah, no pressure. Rightio, well, we've rigged up those baits. We've put them out. We've set them back probably about 40 to 50 metres. And we're just trolling along the edge of this drop off here. It drops from about 15 down to about 20 metres. And that's where the Spaniards seem to patrol along that drop off. Also, when you're trolling for Spaniards and that, it's also a very visual sort of a fishing. Like, you're always looking for bird activity and things like that, because the birds are always diving into the bait. And we're just coming up onto a patch of birds here now, so we'll just continue to troll our baits down through here. And you'll notice, as when we're trolling along, you'll notice the rods are fairly sensitive in the tip. Today we're using a live fibre RLF 19, very sensitive in the tip for the tip action of these baits, but very stiff down the bottom end of the rod for when you actually got to put the hooks into these fish. You'll notice when we hook these fish up, we actually hook them up with the boat. So we actually plant the throttle and get going with the boat, and that just seems to hook them up pretty well.
Finally, we're away. Dicko's been working the local ground, a few colour changes, some patches of birds, and we've got actually had 2 bites. We had a bait chomped on one side and then absolutely hammered on the other side. Finally, Denver's in the action. All right.
I'm just going to keep us motoring forward just to keep that tension on the line.
Yep.
Because that bait is out of fair way.
Yep. You're right, Dicko.
Keep him coming.
There's the benefit of a crew working together. We're obviously in a bit of a lumpy sea, and we've got a fair bit of line out the back, and we've got Dicko just controlling the boat just to make sure that Denver can stay tight on this fish. Obviously, with the boat rocking backwards and forwards, it's easy just to lurch and give a fish a bit of slack line, which does help them spit a hook. So we've got Dicko up the front there. Woo! That's what we want. Yeah. That's what we wanted. A while ago, Denver entered a competition to win a segment fishing with us. What did you get second prize, mate? You got 2 days with us? 3 days with us? Denver was the lucky winner. He's out here with us today. And we spoke on the phone a fair bit before coming out on this trip to work out what we wanted to do and stuff, and he said, I just want to get drags going, Nige.
Big drag.
Big drags and rods and men. So when you said that, I knew exactly the man to ring next, which is Dicko at Wilson's, and said, righto, we've got a job to do. We've got to put Denver onto something big. And he said, I think I know the place, I know the technique, and I've got the gear to help you out. Here we go.
Ooh, there's the head shake. She's a Spaniard.
Ew. Oh, yes.
Oh, there he's on the surface.
Yeah.
Oh, he's out of the water. Shark might be on him.
Go, 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 go. Yeah.
Got him.
Woo!
Woo!
Nice. Get in there with Dicko, Denver. In you go.
There you go.
Mate, fantastic. Look at this.
Well, there you go. A beautiful southeast Queensland Spaniard.
Yep.
How'd you enjoy that?
Mate, fantastic. It was awesome.
Yeah, great. Yeah, no, that's why we troll the baits around here in southeast Queensland. We rigged up those bonito this morning, and here we go. That's what we ended up with. We actually had a double hookup, but we missed the other one, and we got this one, so that's pretty cool. Righto, folks, we're actually going to keep this fish for the table. So the best way to keep them is to make up an ice slurry, a nice wet ice slurry, so they go underneath all the ice. I want to make sure that they're fully submerged in the ice slurry. I've done a fair bit of commercial fishing over the years, and we found an ice slurry is the best way to keep your fish in perfect eating condition.
I live in Victoria Point, which is very close to Stradbroke Island. This is my backyard, but I don't get to explore it as much as I could. My work base is in Rockalee. I work for Freighter MaxiCube. I'm a workshop foreman there, and I basically run the shed every day, ins and outs of jobs. And fishing is my world. I've done it ever since I was 7-year-old, when my grandfather first taught me to catch blackfish at Port Macquarie, and it has stemmed from there.
the moment we've got some pelagic action going on in the background. We're throwing small liveys at them, 7/0s, gang together. First hook pinned in behind the shoulder, and the second one through the nose of the fish as lightly as possible, just to let that fish swim. It's pinned and it's secure and ready for action. That's going to swim happily. Any fish that comes and grabs that, hook penetration to get a good hook set. Right, now what we got, 2 live baits rigged on a 2-hook gang, just kicking away 15 metres behind the boat. We've got a ripping current at the moment. What Dicko's plan is we're going to troll past this fad that's holding some dolphin fish. The idea being that we tempt them out from this fad, they come into the wash, they see the baits, and they'll either grab them straight up or we just feed it back to them. That presentation of having a live bait just fluttering away in that wash behind the boat. It's not just going to gee up dolphin fish. If there's any predator that comes into a wash, sees a livey kicking away behind the boat, sitting up the top, it's going to take a lot for them to resist coming in and whacking it. Here we go. Oh, is that a fish on you? You're away? All right. Oh,
Hey.
there we go.
Woohoo! He's a jumper.
He's a jumper. Denver's in the action, and I've got interest in my livey. Line speeding up. Oh, yes. And they are going off. Phew. So much fun to catch. They're monstering these liveys, just the forces of competition, and a bunch of fish suddenly fire out of their structure and they see a helpless live bait sitting there. They're all coming out to fight over it, and you can see there's still fish following this one in. You always know you're a good chance of hooking a fish and you've got a livey sitting out there and there's 10 fish looking at each other, working out which one's going to eat it first. There we go. Well, Denver, guest cameo appearance, mate. You wanted to hear some drags going?
Mate, I've heard drags going all day. It's been fantastic.
Well, mate, we owe a lot of thanks to Dicko, the man from Wilson's. He brings us all the gear.
Yep.
And he's done an awesome job of putting us onto fish, and a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes as well. Just a bunch of anglers sitting back, working out how best to catch fish, and we've thrown a fair few tricks in the book of them, which is like any day on the water. I think you just got to be versatile, use your brain and see what you think might work, and then find the fish and put it to practice, and well,
Put it to bed.
there you go.
Awesome.
What a beautiful way to finish the day.
Yep.
Pair of beautiful fish. We've got a feed, we've had some fun. We've seen some sights, mate.
We have.
And this wind's starting to blow up. I've been bumped around a bit now. My arms are getting sore, and I reckon it's time for us to head back.
Head back home.
We can say, see you to the next segment, and thanks very much to Denver for coming out and joining the crew.
Well, I find with the, how we were trolling the bonito and that this morning, I find that you want a rod at least of 7 foot long, something with a nice sensitive tip, a bit like the RLF 19 live fibre.
Yep.
And you'll find that it's got that nice sensitive tip so you can see the bait swimming. That's very important in a rod. And then to have that initial grunt to hook up the fish when you can see how we actually gunned the boat there today.
Yep.
So you want that rod to be able to load up. So that's where the RLF 19 is just perfect for that. That particular rod is probably one of our #1 selling rods, not just for trolling but for bottom fishing, float lining,
Yep.
trolling live baits, anything. It's one of the most versatile rods that we've got in our market. We've been doing lots of things with the old Venom rods. We've been trolling with them. We live baited for the dolphin fish and that with them. One of the most versatile rods on the market. They're designed for braid, more or less, because they got that slower taper.
Yep.
So you don't pull the hooks in that as easy. Blade and tails rods, we can catch barramundi on it. We caught marlin on it, catch dolphin fish on it. I use this particular one for snapper fishing all the time. It's probably one of my versatile tools now. On behalf of Wilson's, I'd like to give you this RLF 19 fishing rod, one of the ones you were using today.
Fantastic.
But a new one, not a used one. And thanks very much for coming.
Thanks very much, Dicko, and I'd just like to thank Wilson for supplying all the gear today. It's quality tackle. It's went really well today. We've caught everything on it from the mackerel to the dolphin fish and also the little black marlin. We've had a fantastic day, and Thanks again for Wilson for supplying all the gear.
Not a problem. Mate, you can come fishing anytime.
Fantastic.
It's Bill Klassen here from The Fishing Show, and if you like this instructional video and want to learn more, it's simple. Go to fishingshowtv.com.au and see a whole host of additional videos.